This video film study is going to focus on David Ojabo and his performance in the Ravens' 20-19 win over the Philadelphia Eagles in the preseason opener. One of the more promising players on the roster, and a lot of us fans have high hopes, and in some cases maybe unrealistic high hopes. He did play 20 plays, 20 snaps against the Eagles. I'm not going to show you all 20 plays. I think I'm going to show you every snap from the first drive. And I'm only going to do the end zone angle. We're focusing on Ojabo here. So some of the time I may not have the formation memorized. I do have my play-by-play rundown up on another screen, so you may hear me flipping around with that. But it's going to focus on Ojabo, and I'll talk about Del'Shawn Phillips a little bit, and Jeremiah Moon and Tavius Robinson. All three of those edge defenders, the last three guys I just mentioned, they need snaps. They need reps. And I think we should look for Ojabo to get more snaps, probably around 20 again in the second preseason game. I think it's probably a good thing for him to get a decent amount of snaps, to get him in game shape. I disagree with people who, after 20 snaps of watching this young man play football, are saying, I don't even think he can be in our rotation. I don't see that. I see a guy who lost contain one time, likes to use his spin move, and his spin move looks good. It's flashy, it's pretty, and it worked in college, and I think it'll work in the NFL. He's a supreme athlete. But I kind of liken his spin move to like a really good slider as a baseball pitcher. I want to see his fastball early, meaning I think he should be using his speed rush to dip under, some of his hand moves, I think, to get to the outside. I think he should be using those more early. Establish the outside rush like you establish your fastball. Use the spin move as your slider or your out pitch. Let's get to the film. I'll try to highlight Ojabo before every play. First play of the game. It's going to be a nickel blitz off the left edge by Ardarius Washington. You can see it's a gun. I mentioned this in my reaction video. A gun, whether it was tight end or slot, I think I have it 8 for 8 as either a pass play or a RPO. Now, you can argue and say this isn't necessarily an RPO, coach. It's definitely a play action here. A quick little fake to the running back Swift, who looks really good, by the way. Ojabo is the guy we're focusing on. He's just dealing with the tight end. I thought twice on this first drive, or in the first two drives, Ojabo looked really good dealing with the tight end, just kind of overpowered the guy. Darrell Worley, who played a whale of a game, he did miss 3 tackles that I've seen, missed one there, and Malik Harrison cleaned it up. 9-yard gain. All right, Ojabo on the left side now. It's to the tight end side, so he's, some people say he's playing Sam, but you'll see him occasionally lined up away from the tight end. And I think this is a great play. He stuffs the pulling tackle on this. We call it down sweep. The 2 tight ends in a twin wing formation is blocking down. And then you get in a pull and kick and a pull and wrap. And I know you got a lot of lines there, so forgive me. We would call it down sweep, just basically the down play out of the old school wing T. But watch him stuff this tackle. First of all, gets his hands up under him and then lifts him. Additionally, you've got an amazing job by Brent Urban. He's supposed to be down blocked by the inside tackle. It doesn't end up being he down blocks the tight end. I guess you call it an up block because he's pushing him out. Great job by Ojabo, if you ask me. Great run through by Del'Shawn Phillips, who played like his hair was on fire, if you ask me. I'll try to pause it real quick so you guys can see. First, got the right hand inside on the chest, and then watch him extend. The edge is set. It's over. The ball's got to be turned inside. Great job by Urban, pressing the tight end out, and here comes Phillips on the inside out, cleaning it up. Great job. Swift still got the first down, don't get me wrong, but it's a short game. All right, 1st and 10 here. I think it's 12 personnel. You get a sack by Malik Harrison. Ojabo is off screen to our right. I believe it's 12 personnel. I was confused during the game about this one guy. I think it's 87, whether he was a tight end or a receiver. Ojabo is off screen to our right. Why am I mentioning that? The Ravens got base defense on. That's why I'm talking about personnel groupings. If it was 11 personnel, you would think the Ravens would not have their base defense on. So Ojabo's off screen to our right. This is our classic little inside linebacker blitz. With Tavius Robinson to the left-hand side of the screen, he's mugging the tight end into the boundary. So I'm talking about right here. Robinson's going to drop out with the tight end and mug him. And then these guys are all going to stunt to the left. Urban's going all the way across okay, kind of like your long stick. And then Harrison is going through the B gap, Ojabo off the edge. So what they're doing is they're really isolating this left tackle 2-on-1. He can't block both guys, obviously, and in this case, he doesn't block either one. Harrison's blitz and Ojabo's rush, you can see the 2-on-1 that's created. It's a 5-man rush. Robinson drops out. Presumably, we got somebody on the back out in the flats to our right. All right, 9-yard loss creates a 2nd and 19. You can see Ojabo is on the right now to the tight end side. Tight end's a stand up here because it's 2nd and long. Quick release by Mariota ends up being a 5-yard gain. Ojabo, I think, is on a stunt with the D tackle. He doesn't seem to really believe in it or execute it with a lot of force. We'll put it that way. But there's different types of stunts for what they're asking him to do. Some of them they'll ask you to take your outside arm and really try to rip through that guard. It didn't really fool them. I think they run this twice. Doesn't seem to fool the Eagles O-line at all. At least the guys that were in there early. Center picks him up. Maybe it's being a little too harsh on Ojabo, but I'd like to see him play with just a little more force. Harrison and Ardarius Washington, I think, on the tackle. All right, 3rd and 13. It's a tough one to defend. Ojabo's on the right. He tries his spin move inside. It's easy. Look, Mariota has probably done this 300 times in his life, or maybe 100 times in the NFL. Scramble out on a 3rd and long to get the first down. Poor decision by Ojabo. Really committed guy right here, Del'Shawn Phillips. I'm going to make sure I do a video on him this week. He's going to pick the guard and take the center with him, kind of like this. And then 94 is going to be able to stunt loop around. That's why I don't understand Ojabo on the spin to the inside. This is designed to create inside pressure with 94. So to spin by Ojabo, I feel like just kind of opens up the side door for Mariota potentially, which is what happens. You get the inside pressure that we want. Ojabo and Del'Shawn Phillips are damn near running into each other. I don't think at the NFL level most pass rush moves by edge rushers are hard-coded, meaning predetermined. But I think sometimes they should be. In this case, they should be. For me, like I said, I want to see Ojabo establish his speed rush as his primary pass rush move to set up the spin. I think it's inexperience, and you can see near the end of the play he's not happy with himself at all. I think he'll learn. The guy's a high achiever and doesn't want to fail and let his teammates down clearly. But you can see he's not happy at all with himself. So Eagles get the first down. A-gun zone read. Just keep in mind when I say this, I'll remind you. A-gun means running back, tight end, same side. So it's a zone read. They're going to slam Ojabo into the C-gap, and the tight end's just going to take him down. He's just going to ride him out of there. Essentially wash him down, and 37 is looping outside. Should it be a keep read for Mariota? I don't know, but Ojabo's really getting run out of there. You'll see him learn quickly, and I think he is a quick learner. The next time they run this stunt, he plays it a lot more physical, really almost illegally, hands to the face. But I would prefer that as opposed to him just running down the gap and getting himself essentially washed down out of here. And when that happens, in my opinion, it creates too much space. You can see how talented Swift is, by the way. It just creates too much space for 37 because Ojabo's getting washed out of there. Look at all the space that Swift has. You still can't miss the tackle on the inside if you're 37. I think it's Amos. You can't miss the tackle on the inside. If you're going to miss the tackle, you got to miss it on the outside. I'd prefer to see Ojabo like in a 6 technique, head up, to not be so far, to not get moved so far in this direction. Hopefully that makes sense. Not creating as much space for the running back. Look at how many Ravens defenders you've got all kind of piled up together. Amos has really been isolated. Clearly, you could say this could have been a keep read because look at Mariota, running out here by himself, almost trying to become a lead blocker. 22-yard gain. Not really Ojabo's fault there, and he does adjust how he plays it later on. He's again on the right, and you got A-gun slot. It's an RPO. Tight end releases under Ojabo. I would like to see more hand usage, for me personally, just so the coaches and him could evaluate the moves. Why did you use this move? What did you see on the previous snap? The left tackle's getting out of there pretty good. Don't get me wrong, doing a pretty good job. But you'll see a move later. Jeremiah Moon, the first time he gets matched up with his left tackle, he just smashes the left tackle back into the quarterback's lap. Now I think it's a 3rd and 10 at that time, the play that I'm talking about. But I'd like to see Ojabo be a little bit more forceful with his hands. 2nd and 10. Twin wing A-gun, an outside spin, and the left tackle stays with him pretty easily, if you ask me. Now, look, no one else is getting there either. Not Tavius Robinson. We've got Delshon Phillips blitzing again. I wonder about Phillips' pass coverage ability. Is that why they're blitzing him so often? Great job by Harrison, if you ask me, getting in the pass lane and forcing the quarterback to throw it over the top, or at least, let me rephrase that, influencing the quarterback to throw it over the top. So, looks good so far, right? 3rd and 10. Ojabo's on the right. I mean, let's go. Let's get after it. It's just underwhelming, clearly. He's trying to run a pick with the D tackle, and he slips and falls down. He's just not smooth with his timing here on his first possession at all. I can't lie and say that he was, no doubt. He looks to me like a guy who would get better the more reps he plays in a game. I wonder if that's the experience or lack of experience. He's basically a rookie, I would say. Maybe you disagree with me because, he did play in a regular season game last year. He did play in a playoff game. He did practice, I think, for like 4 or 5 weeks in a row before they made him active. But I still kind of look at him as a rookie, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's a guy who plays better the further along the game goes. Clearly not a great rep. As an aside, that dude, Tyree Cleveland, man, he was impressive. Impressive football player. It's a 9-yard gain, creates a 4th and 1, and the Ravens are going to run a similar stunt. You can see they've walked Harrison up as an edge defender. Ojabo is essentially going to do the same thing he did before, which is, slam C-gap, but he's going to be a whole heck of a lot more aggressive with this. The left tackle additionally steps to him for a moment to kind of help the tight end out. And we again isolate 37 out there on the edge. Mariota correctly keeps it this time. I love the violence of Ojabo with his hands this time. Not necessarily the location, maybe his hands to the face. And there's certain people who watch football that complain about every little penalty. I mean, guys being violent, that's what you're supposed to do. And this is evidence of what I'm saying. I hadn't seen that level of violence from him prior to this play. Had you? I mean, he was just prior to this play, he's just an athlete, who's playing the game. Here he looks like a pissed off guy who's trying to get his hands on people and be violent with them intentionally. Again, things don't seem aligned here with this defense, though. I'm just going to talk about this briefly. I mean, early, not the whole game. So what we're doing, we're slamming Ojabo into C, and he's kind of, basing it better. He's not getting washed out of there. Jeremiah Moon is also slamming B. We're bringing Worley off the edge. Why aren't we forcing a give read? We're bottling everything up on the inside. I don't understand why we're allowing the quarterback to keep this and basically playing this back to 37, who unfortunately is getting sucked inside as well, even though to me he's responsible for force, which is outside of Harrison. But in any case, I don't think things looked great early on. Didn't look clearly aligned. With Worley blitzing off the edge, with us slamming the 2 outside linebackers, feels like we should be forcing a give read to the running back. If I misspoke a minute ago, forgive me. Really confusing the first 2 drives. All right, 1st and 10. Ojabo this time is trying a speed rush. A rip under. Mariotta's getting rid of the ball really fast here on this 1st and 10. It's a misread somewhere, ends up being incomplete. Let you guys watch it one more time. Don't judge these guys off of 1 rep or even 20 reps. That is at least establishing an outside move, even if it's not the best move in your opinion, fine. Even if it's unsuccessful or what some people call a loss, fine. I'd like to see him establish that move, that outside move, to get the tackles setting a little more so that the spin or even a bull rush could work later on. 2nd and 10, run play out of A-gun, surprise, surprise, tight end, Running back, same side. I had it 8 for 8. Travis Jones going to slide outside of the blocking scheme here. It's just a heck of a play. And then Del'Shawn Phillips with a great read. Just a great read. And look at Ojabo trying to run the tight end down the line of scrimmage to condense the backside. No gain on this 2nd and 10. Love the read and the slide by Phillips to the backside. You can see Jones winning on the outside of the scheme. Must have knew something. Jones and Phillips, who played a whale of a game, like I said, finish it off. All right, 3rd and 10. Ojabo's not on the field. You got Jeremiah Moon. Why am I showing you this play? He's committed. Jeremiah Moon's committed on this play. It's a 3rd and 10, so the quarterback's going to need a little bit more time for the receivers to get downfield. That's Tavius Robinson on the left-hand side, by the way. Both inside linebackers mugging. Jeremiah Moon's trying to collapse the pocket. Am I saying Jeremiah Moon's better than Ojabo? No. I'm saying Jeremiah Moon at least knows who he is on this rep. And he knows where the quarterback's going to be. I'd like to see Ojabo establish a speed rush. You guys let me know if you co-sign those thoughts or, if you have different thoughts, fine. Certainly, there could be times where the spin move wins early. I would just like to see him show the tackle that he can threaten him upfield to the outside. Dip under, and then spin back inside later on. I do like a spin, like I said, but Mariota is so athletic, that with experience and time and awareness of field and boundary and what's happening to the stunt inside of you, I think David Ojabo will have a better idea of when is the right time to spin and when it's not. I hope he gets more reps in the second game. It's probably a good idea from an experience standpoint, getting him ready for week 1 if we are going to have to rely on him and Owe predominantly. It certainly looks like Tavius Robinson and Jeremiah Moon are going to be on this team and be able to contribute. You guys let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of Ojabo's play. Certainly there was other plays that he got involved in. I think I showed you 11 of them here. Maybe I'm wrong. Appreciate you guys' time. If you think other Ravens fans would enjoy this content, enjoy this film study look at David Ojabo, please consider grabbing the link to the video, sharing it somewhere on social media to help it get more reach. I do intend to do a video on Del'Shawn Phillips and Daryl Worley and try to get that out sometime late Monday evening. Appreciate you guys' time.